This is Justified Examination Success for Unique Students, a self-help guidebook on improved academic performance, brought to you by Thames Mission International, TMI.
For the 30, remember summary.
Now, let's go over what we have learned in how we can improve our memory through engaging the various memorization techniques. First, we learned that we can improve our memory by rehearsal and association. Rehearsal has to do with our going over that notebook, that textbook containing that information over and over again. Association, on the other hand, has to do with relating the new piece of information we are getting with old pieces of information that we're already familiar with. We also learned that there are three types of memory: the sensory memory, the short-term memory, and the long-term memory. And that for us to improve our short and long-term memory, we need to engage this technique of rehearsal and also to recall to mind what we have read and what we have learned over time. Another technique we learned was the technique of using mnemonics. Mnemonics is simply using the first letter of the words or information you are trying to remember and forming a new word or an abbreviation. These mnemonics are what we now remember, and once you remember these mnemonics, you remember the full information. We learned from the very popular mnemonics such as Mr. Niger D for the characteristics of living things. We also learned the mnemonic of BODMAS in mathematics. We learned also how we can apply mnemonics in several other areas that are not so popular, like in biology, using the mnemonic FARM-B for the classes of the vertebrates: fishes, amphibians, reptiles, mammals, and birds. Next, we learned the important and vital memory improving techniques of teaching others and using visual aids. We learned that trying to hoard information can be more harmful than helpful. We learned that the more we teach others, the better we improve our understanding of that topic and also improve how much we remember concerning that thing we teach. We also learned that there are three types of learners: the audio learner, who learns principally through the things he or she hears; the visual learner, who learns through the things he or she sees; and thirdly, the kinetic learner, who learns mainly through the things he or she does. Another important point we learned about how to improve our memory is having good lifestyle habits. We learned that the brain is like a muscle, and that just as how we can develop the muscles of our biceps, we can also develop the muscle of our brains. We can do this by playing mind games. It's not all games that are to be discouraged. Some games are good for your brain, like chess is a very good mind game, or crossword puzzles, or brain teasers, These things help the brain. We also learned that another good lifestyle habit you can use to improve your memory is by watching your diet. We cautioned ourselves not to use our teeth to dig our own grave, because there are some foods that are actually good for the brain and thus improve the individual's memory. We also learned that some foods are not good for the brain. Foods that are good for the brain include foods like salads, berries, yogurt, and so on. And foods that are not good for the brain are high sugar foods like sweets and soft drinks. Another good lifestyle habit for one to employ that can lead to improved memory is by engaging in regular physical exercise. We discovered that physical exercise is not only good for physical development, but also good for mental development. It improves the alertness and mental capability of the brain. Finally, we also learned that the memory can be improved by having adequate rest. We learned that lack of sleep can actually lead to memory loss, and that learning actually continues while we are asleep. We were advised that we should sleep in quiet environments and cool off before going to sleep. We also learned that laughter is a good part of rest. The more you laugh, the better your brain functions. As you employ these effective memorization techniques, you will discover that your memory is actually improving.
Justified Examination Success for Unique Students is a product of Teens Mission International, TMI. For inquiries, seminars, and counseling, you can reach us via telephone +2341 8514 826 or +2347 08 53 987 40. Our email contact@tmiworld.org or our website www.tmiworld.org.